My fellow Reploids, I ask you to gather around and ask yourselves one thing. What are we fighting for? Captain Ryan, what are we fighting for?
Well, according to the Repliforce, we are something.
What about you, Brigadier Lewis?
We're fighting for glorious PlayStation 1 FMV anime scenes.
And you, Janitor Ted?
Janitor? What? I thought you said I got a promotion.
That is a promotion.
Damn it!
You can go back to swabbing the urinals if you want.
It's time for Mega Man X4, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for taking so damn long for continuing this series, but I got shit to do.
Well, it was one X game per year before this, and now it's been like how long since we did X3?
It's been 2 years, I think, since we did X3.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, X4, the series jumped to the PlayStation. We got full motion anime cutscenes.
Hell yeah. Yeah, now this is what I immediately think of when I think of CD technology. It's just like really, really cheap anime cutscenes in games for no good reason.
More or less.
Now, this may be called Mega Man X4, but it's really Zero's game.
Yes, just to get that out there, ladies and gentlemen, this is pretty much going to be Zero's spot in the sunlight today. Because we played X through the first 3 X games. Let's give Zero some attention.
It's basically the same game with both characters, right?
It is the exact same game, but Zero has all the plot importance, and X has no plot whatsoever.
X is in the game, but why would you play as X in Mega Man X4?
Let's put it this way. If you have the choice between playing as Spider-Man or Venom, who would you play as?
Well, I actually really like Spider-Man, so probably Spider-Man.
Yeah, which character gets the decent power-ups?
Good question.
Yes. And that's why we're playing as Zero, because statistically
Venom
speaking,
anyway.
Zero is just more fun to play as, compared to X in this game anyway. That and
He has all the plot importance.
oh yeah, he has very more plot significance in this game than X does, and X is, he's just there, really.
Oh god, this screen resolution.
It's Dr. Wily.
Zero, did you know where I put my keys? I lost them.
It's Eggman. It looked like Eggman. It's like he just has this big, wide mustache and a bald head.
No, it's Dr. Wily.
Listen, Zero was created by Wily. Why, fuck me.
Weren't we assuming that since X1?
Well, because we already knew, but
Yeah, there are subtle hints there, here and there. I think it started with X2.
yeah, but this is when we get confirmation that he was, yes, indeed, built by Wily.
Oh, and this is him from after killing everyone. Oh god, the voice acting is that bad. Oh.
Yes.
Well, it's the same voice acting crew from Mega Man 8.
Yes, including X. Ugh,
Wonderful.
it just doesn't work. I'm sorry. Oh, man.
I see you don't give a fuck about the dialogue.
No, because it's dialogue.
They say nothing really important.
No, it's like, here, go here. Okay.
And you're using the code to play as Black Zero.
All right, now, I'm using the code to play as Black Zero, but in X4, it's merely cosmetic.
In 5, it is an armor upgrade, yes.
Yeah, in X5 and X6, it does boost your stats, but that would be cheating. But I figured since X4 doesn't really change anything, why not? We're playing as Black Zero.
So how do you input the code? Is it just like something you do?
You input a button sequence at the title screen.
Oh,
no,
alright.
while you have zero highlighted,
Oh, well.
I
you
see.
input a button sequence. Yeah, but I actually like Black Zero.
Does X
Yeah.
have a similar costume change? To...
No, because he has armor parts.
Oh, all right.
X has something called the Ultimate Armor, which is disgusting.
Yep.
Because it has a lot of decent upgrades, and it has something called a Nova Drive, I think it was,
Yeah.
which pretty much is a "fuck you, I win" button, because it gives X an impervious dash that's also really damaging,
Gets it again in X5.
and X6.
Yeah.
So no, we're not going to be using that for any of the X play. X4 is pretty much going to be a Zero game. I'll make it up with X5, which will be primarily an X game, because I think X has more significance in that game.
Yeah, and much like how Johnny's doing Wily Wars for the classic Mega Man games, eventually I'll probably do an X run of X4 just for shits and giggles later.
For shits and giggles, I would agree. And nothing really stopped me from doing a Zero run of X5, just to say that we did.
What about X6?
Not X6, though. You could leave X6 to me, though.
I'm not. I was about to say I'm not playing X6.
The carnage is horrible. So many broken robot parts.
This will take ages to clean.
So I haven't played this one, but whenever I hear people talking about the X games, it's either this or X1 that people seem to be most enthusiastic about.
Well, they're the two best ones by far.
What makes this one so great? Other than, you know, I assume it's.
I think it's because it doesn't have too much bullshit.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that the best thing you can say about it? It doesn't have too much bullshit.
Well, let me see. Well, because, you know, X2 had the X-Hunter gimmick, which people weren't too much of a fan of because it required you to go a specific route in order to get the best ending of the game or something like that.
And X3 had tons of backtracking.
X3, I think, speaks for itself. X4 kept things streamlined pretty much like how X1 did. Only, you know, better graphics, better sound design, voice acting.
Question mark.
You know, it pretty much upped the ante without changing things too much. Although we'll get into it as we go along the playthrough, but, you know, X4 didn't really change much. And that wouldn't be a negative, I understand, but for the jump, when you're making a jump into the console, it's a good idea to just keep things relatively similar and see what the people think about it, and then do something different for maybe a sequel or something.
So it's people more like it for the things it doesn't do than the things it does.
Yes.
It's basically just like X1. It's a very solid Mega Man X game.
Yes. And now we have our intro stage boss. Just like every other X game, it's big,
huge,
menacing, but it's pathetically easy.
Yep.
Like this boss theme, though.
Our first Maverick of the day is Huge Dragon. Its special power is it's huge, and it's a dragon, and if you beat it, you too can be huge and a dragon.
It does kind of remind me of the Mecha Dragon from 2.
Do you ever do the slash cancel to do lots of damage on bosses?
You'll be seeing more of that in X6.
Okay.
Because I know how to do it there more than I do. I don't even think you can do it here, can you?
You can.
Colonel.
You can do it in all the X games.
Okay.
In all the.
Well, yeah, I don't
multiplayer
see why
ones.
not. You have a
I'm
dash
sorry,
button.
all I'm seeing on screen right now is a codec conversation.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it right now. This is super nitpicky, but I already hate the sound of that the text.
Oh god. That's annoying in every game that does it.
Well, no, some games have text scrolling sounds that I actually really like, but this, where it's just like I'm going to get sick of that already.
It's obnoxiously loud and you can't even hear the music over it.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, you can skip it. You know, just by mashing the button so you don't hear the thing. I actually think it doesn't play the sound when you're skipping the text.
No.
But if you decide to listen to it, for some reason, but you have to hear every individual letter.
I'm assuming
Yeah.
you're playing the X Collection version.
Let me refresh my... Yes, I am. I was playing the X Collection for X4. For X5, I'm actually going to be using a physical PlayStation 1 disc, because
Oh, cool.
X5 on my X Collection doesn't seem to work.
Huh.
It
How
it
odd.
crashes every time I load X5.
What about the PC version of X4 and 5?
I never played the PC version of X4 or 5. I played the Saturn version of X4.
What's different about it?
Nothing.
Nothing.
So is this Colonel the same guy from the other X games? Or-
No.
No, this is the
Repli
general
army.
This is the general of the Repliforce. Is pretty much a faction. It's a military consisting of nothing but Reploids. They're fighting for the independency, even though they already have it.
Yeah, like, aren't Reploids basically just the same as humans in
Yes.
this? Yeah.
They're robots with free will.
It's sort of like a Matrix situation, but nowhere near as serious.
So are they evil? Question mark.
They're just trying to. They're trying to fight for their. I don't know. What are they fighting for?
Their own country. They want their own country space.
Pretty much, I guess.
I thought they already had that, from what I
No, they don't.
gathered. Oh well.
No, they have to coexist. Ew. Ew. No.
Disgusting.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
Oh wow, they're not even trying this time.
Wait, that's supposed to be Sigma's voice?
Yeah,
That is Sigma's voice?
yeah.
Oh man, it's like if Darth Vader sounded like the textbook book nerd.
The fuck?
So yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that Sigma is once again the bad guy, and they don't even try
You
to hide
don't
the fact.
say.
They don't even try to hide it this time. Because remember, at the end of X3, which really doesn't have any reason to exist at this point, Sigma was a virus that we neutralized, thanks to Zero, or Dr. Doppler, depending on the ending. But no, he's back, has a full body and everything, everything's hunky-dory.
Do they bother to explain that or no?
Nope! He's just there.
Yep. He came back twice already, why not?
Yeah. He's the serious Dr. Wily. It's always
Okay.
Sigma.
So now we have our level select, and we have our first Maverick is Web Spider. Wow.
Well, what interesting thing about this game, though, story-wise, is that only half of them are actually Mavericks.
Yes, and you can actually tell which ones are Mavericks and which ones are part of the Repliforce by their health bar.
Yep.
But we have to kill all of them anyway, though.
Wow, this is giving me some serious Jurassic Park flashbacks.
Yeah. No, they all need to die. It's just that it is interesting in that they technically have two factions.
Yes.
So the Repliforce is fighting the Maverick Hunters because why?
let me see.
Basically, because they're sworn to protect humanity, and the Repliforce are willing to use
to gain their independence by any means necessary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it was anyway.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm seriously seeing nothing but Jurassic Park in this level.
As in the movie itself or a video game?
As in the Genesis game, the river level, the raft level, the fucking velociraptors, and that level killed me so many times.
Fuck you. Yeah, but Zero is more of the close-range fighter. He doesn't really have an arm cannon, not until X6 anyway.
X5 you can.
X5 had one? Okay. X5 is the one I played the least.
X5, it depends on who you play as in the intro stage.
I thought that these games had like one button for blaster shots and another button for sword swings. Or
If you're playing as X, I think you can use the square button for regular pellets and the triangle button for special weapons.
But Zero doesn't get special weapons, he gets special moves.
Yes.
Okay.
And depending on the move, it can either be really cool or something that gets in the way.
Yeah.
Do the moves run on like the weapon ammo, like the?
No, he can do it unlimited times.
So they're like super moves in a fighting game.
Sort of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I think that's an interesting way to mix up two characters.
Yeah.
At the very least, it makes them feel very different when you're playing it.
Yeah, well, it's not a radical change in gameplay style, but
However, it doesn't make weapon tanks completely useless for Zero, but
You can still get them though.
you can still get them as Zero, but there's no point.
But there's absolutely no point in getting them. I'm gonna get them anyway because they're there, just for completionist sake, I guess.
In X5, when you can switch between the two characters at will, there is reason to get them, but
Yes, but not in this game. This is the only game in the series where you pick a character, you're stuck as that character
yeah.
until you beat the game.
I would have thought that they'd like replace them with something else if you were Zero, like I don't
Nope.
know, defense points or something. I don't know. I don't know what they put in there instead, but they wouldn't have left something useless for him in there.
The only thing that changes between the two characters is the characters themselves. The level design stays completely the same.
And you can't do anything with the light capsules as Zero, they're just not there.
No.
Is Dr. Light still a prick in this one?
Yes. When is he ever not a prick?
I also believe this was the last X game in terms of armor upgrades that you actually get to use them the moment you get them. Because starting with
In
X5,
5 you have to equip
you have
them,
to
yeah.
collect all of them before the armor activates, which is dumb. Hate that.
Well, at least in X5 you start with the Falcon armor.
Yes,
the fourth armor.
but if I find an armor upgrade, I want to be able to use that son of a bitch immediately. Like, no, now you'll have to fire them all together before you can use them at all. I'm such a genius. Isn't that right, Dr. Light? Yes, Dr. Light.
And then if you want to get the Super Duper armor, you have to go into the final stage armor list.
so this is our first Reploid.
Yes, he's actually part of the Repliforce. You can tell by the R underneath his health bar.
So he's not evil, he's just an asshole.
Yeah, he's just, we're in his way, so he's gonna take care of us.
I hope that involves like free tea and crumpets.
No. I don't remember what the official boss order is, but I know Web Spider is not the first one. But I like to go Web Spider first because I don't find him that difficult.
Actually, X4 is one of the more non-linear ones you can do.
In terms of having an easy time?
Yeah, I tend to go Magma Dragoon first, just because you can bring the right armor into the boss fight, which makes them pathetically easy.
I agree. Which I was thinking of doing, but I figured, nah, I'm going to play it safe.
Do the bosses in Zero's playthrough have weaknesses like in X's playthrough? Only to
Yes, they do.
Okay, so
Yes.
you can use the super moves to do more damage
To,
against certain
and
bosses.
stun lock them and stuff, yeah.
Okay.
The inherent gameplay is exactly the same, it's just what you can do as each of them is different.
Alright.
And I don't think any particular boss has a weakness to the default weapon.
Not really, but all of them, except for maybe like one or two, are all plenty doable. Buster or Saber only.
Yes.
Would having to get in close combat with the bosses make them harder as Zero, or...
Well, no, because he inherently does more damage than X does.
He does, and the only boss that will give you a hard time is your first one, because at that point they all start falling like dominoes because you have the proper weakness. Unless you're intentionally going for a Z-Saber only run.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like Web Spider is all tangled up.
We'll see for part 2 of X4.